Good day everyone. For today, we are going to tackle about chapter 23 or The Last Trip Abroad of Jose Rizal in 1896, presented by Tricia Bahala and Rachel May Lantixi. So, during na to nga time tong na-end na ang 4-year exile ni Rizal sa Dapitan. So, napriso siya sa Dapitan 4 years. Rizal had a pleasant trip from Dapitan to Manila with delightful stopovers in Dumaguete, Cebu, Iloilo, Capiz, and Romblon. He missed the regular steamer Isla de Luzon. So, wala siya kasakay sa regular steamer Isla de Luzon padulong sa Spain. So while waiting for the next ship for Spain, he was kept as a guest on board the Spanish cruiser Castilla. So gikept siya as a guest, wala as a prisoner. So gitrato siya as a guest. Sa August 26, 1896, Andres Bonifacio and the Katipunan raised the cry of revolution in the hills of Balintawak, a few miles north of Manila. So, Rizal worried about the raging hostilities. So, nag-worry si Rizal gihapon about sa mga conflict nga nahitabo sa Philippines. Nileft siya for Spain on the steamer Esla de Panay on September 3, 1896. Di ba na-mention ako sa pinakauna nga from Dapitan to Manila niya nga journey na siya mga stopover. So, ang first stopover niya is sa Dumaguete. Leaving Dapitan at midnight, July 31, 1896, ang iyang gisakyan is ang Spania, with Rizal and party on board sailed northward. At dawn, the next day, Saturday, August 1, it anchored at Dumaguete, capital of Negros Oriental. Sa stopover niya sa Dumaguete, si Rizal iyang givisit ang iyang friend og former classmate nga si Gerardo Regidor, who was the judge of the province. So mao na ang nakita niyo sa picture mo na si Gerardo Regidor, iyang former classmate og iyang friend. So givisit pod niya ang iyang other friends including the Periquet and Rufina families. So mo nang nakita niyo sa picture man na sila. So in the afternoon, he operated on a Spanish captain of the Guardia Civil. So he is still a doctor after all. So nag-operate siya sa Spanish captain of the Guardia Civil. Ang Spania or ang gisakyan ni Rizal ni left sa Dumaguete about 1 p.m. padulong sa Cebu, which is second stopover niya the following morning. So Rizal was fascinated by the entrance to Cebu, which he considered as beautiful. So beautiful daw nindot kayo ang Cebu. At the house of attorney Matios, he met an old couple whom he had known in Madrid. So sa house ni attorney Matios, na-meet niya ang old couple nga na-meet pud niya daan pa dito sa Madrid. In the morning of Monday, August 3, Rizal left Cebu going to Iloilo. So, ang Iloilo mo na iyang next stopover. So, ni-arrive siya sa Iloilo, tapos nag-went siya into shopping sa city, tapos iyang gi-visit ang Mulo. Kabalo man sa ng Mulo? Syempre wala. Okay. Mulo is a church. So, mo na ang picture sa Mulo. Mo na ang church ni ana si Rizal nga, the church is pretty outside and the interior is not bad considering that it had been painted by a lad. So nindot kaayo gyud ang iyang exterior design og interior design. The paintings are mostly copies of biblical scenes by Gustav Dor. So Gustav Dor is na siya ka artist. So marg na-inspire na ang katong lad nga nagpaint, na-inspire siya kay Gustav Dor, then iyang gi-copy ang paintings. From Iloilo, ship sailed to Capiz. After a brief stopover, it proceeded toward Manila. So mo na iyang dapitan to Manila nga journey. The Spania arrived in Manila Bay early morning of Thursday, August 6, 1896. Unfortunately, wala nakasakay si Rizal sa ship Isla de Luzon because it had departed the previous day 5 p.m. So wala siya kasakay sa Isla de Luzon padulong Spain na ship. So he was greatly disappointed, no, but he took this unlucky incident with abiding resignation. Kining incident iyahaning giapil sa iyahang letter nga gisulat para kay Blumentritt. Naana siya nga, unfortunately, I didn't catch the mail ship for Spain and fearing that my stay for a month in Manila would bring me trouble. I made known to Governor General, while remaining on board the ship, España, of my wish to be isolated from everybody except my family. Near midnight of the same day, August 6, Rizal was transferred to a Spanish cruiser, gitawag nga Castilla, sa order ni Governor General Ramos Blanco. So, mo ni si Governor General Ramos Blanco kaning nasa picture. And also kaning sa ubos na picture mo na ang Castilla. He was given good accommodation by the gallant captain, Enrique Santalo. So, si Enrique Santalo mo ni siya sa picture. Ni ana siya nga, si Rizal daw dili daw siya piniriso, but he is a guest detained on board in order to avoid difficulties from friend and enemies. So, Rizal stayed on the cruiser for about a month, from August 6 to September 2 in 1896, pending the availability of the Spain-bound steamer. So while Rizal was patiently waiting on the cruiser Castilla for the next steamer to take him to Spain, na mga events ang ni-occur, presaging the downfall of Spanish power in Asia. On the fateful evening of August 1896, the Katipunan plot to overthrow Spanish rule by means of revolution was discovered by Fray Mariano Gil, Agustinian Cora of Tondo. So, ang plano kuno sa Katipunan nga i-overthrow ang Spanish rule is na-discovered ni Fray Mariano Gil. This startling incident struck terror into the hearts of the Spanish officials and residents, producing a hysteria of vindictive relation against Filipino patriots. So, tungod ani ang mga Spanish kay murag nangasuko sila sa uban mga Filipino patriots. The tumult produced by the discovery of the Katipunan plot was aggravated by the cry of Balintawak, which was raised by Bonifacio and his valiant Katipuneros on August 26, 1896. At sunrise of August 30, the revolutionists, led by Bonifacio and Jacinto, attacked San Juan, near the city of Manila, but they were repulsed with heavy losses. So in the afternoon after the Battle of San Juan, Governor General Blanco proclaimed a state of war in the first 8 provinces for rising in arms against Spain. So Manila as a province, Bulacan, Cavite, Batangas, Laguna, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, and Tarlac. So, nahibaw ni Rizal ang eruption of the revolution and the raging battles around Manila tungod sa newspaper nga iyahang nabasa sa ship dito sa Castilla nga iyang gisakyan. So, he was worried for two reasons. First is the violent revolution which he sincerely believed to be premature og mag-only cause ra na siya sa suffering og terrible loss sa mga human lives. Secondly, it would arouse Spanish vengeance against all Filipino patriots. So, mag-arouse na siya sa mga kasuko o kalagot sa mga Spanish dito sa mga Filipino patriots.
Departure of Spain. On August 30, 1896, the day when the state of war was proclaimed in the 8 provinces, Rizal from the Governor General Blanco 2 letters of introduction for the Minister of War and Minister of Colonies, with covering letter which absolved him from all the blame of regional revolution as follow. So sa August 30 daw, giproclaim nila ang kanang 8 provinces nga nadawat ni Rizal gikan sa governor nga si Governor General Blanco ug gitagaan siya og 2 ka letters nga na introduction sa Minister of War and Minister of Colonies. At 6 p.m. September 2, Rizal was transferred to the steamer Isla de Panay, which was sailing for Barcelona, Spain. The next morning, September 3, this steamer left the Manila Bay. So, atong alas 6 sa gabi sa September 2, si Rizal transfer sa Isla de Panay, which is ang siling sa Barcelona sa Spain. Then pagka September 3 at morning, nilift na pod siya sa Manila Bay. At last, Rizal last trip to Spain began among his fellow passenger on board were Don Pedro Roxas, a rich Manila crawled industrial analyst friend, and his son named Porakin. So si Rizal ang iyang last trip sa Spain. Ug kauban niya sa passenger board si Don Pedro Roxas nga usa niya ka amigo or friend. Rizal in Singapore. On September 7, Isla de Panay arrived at Singapore in the evening. So sa September 7, si Rizal nakaabot sa Isla de Panay sa Singapore sa gabi. And the following morning, Rizal and the passengers went ashore on a sightseeing and shop souvenirs. So pagka buntag ana si Rizal ug ang mga kauban niya mga passenger nangita sila sa mga shop nga naay mga souvenir. Rizal wrote in his travel diary, I have observed some changes, more Chinese merchant than India. Singapore has changed much since I saw it the first time in 1882. So sa Rizal, while siya nag-travel, ihang gisulat through diary ang iyang na-observe sa ang iyang naduan nga lugar, which is ang merchant ug ang India. Labi na ang Singapore nga nagi changes labi na sa iyang pag-adto sa time sa 1882. Don Pedro advised Rizal to stay behind and to take advantage of protection of British law, but Rizal did not heed advice. So si Rizal, Don Pedro, gi-advise niya si Rizal nga mag-stay sa iyaha para protektahan niya ang British law. But si Rizal wala siya ni sang-ayon. Rizal ignored their appeal because he had given his word of honor to Governor General Blanco and he didn't like to break it. So, gi-ignore ni Rizal ang kanang bitang advices ni Don Pedro tungod kay nakasaad na siya kang Governor General Blanco nga siya ang motikit ato nga mga duha ka kuan ni Blanco. So mao nang wala niya kuan dili siya ganahan nga ma-broke ang iyang gisaad. So victim of Spanish duplicity. Rizal sold his own dome. Governor General Blanco was secretly inspiring with the Minister of War and the colonies or ultramar for his introduction. So si Governor General Blanco daw kanang nag-inspiring siya sa Minister of War nga patago. Then Rizal proved to be has Gilbel of Sultan Zaidi, another victim of Spanish intrigue. One of the greatest mistake of Rizal was to believe that Governor General Blanco was a man of honor and a friend because he allowed him to go as a free man to Spain to become a physician surgeon of the Spanish Army, Cuba, where a bloody revolution was raging. So usa ni siya sa mga mali nga nabuhat ni Rizal ang pagtuo niya kang General Blanco nga usa ka owner of a friend because tungod kay ni follow siya sa iya. Then second, and give to a nice letter of introduction addressed to Spanish Minister of War and the colonies. So labi na kagitagaan siya duha ka letter nga gi-address pagid sa iya katong duha ka colonies. So then the third of the manner was subtent by the display documents and Minister of War and Colonies that Blanco was implicable for regarding him as dangerous Filipino. So, ang kanang tinuod nga manner is kanang na-disqualified na siya ang mga documents sa war sa colonies kay si Blanco is iya magipa implicable ang mga regarding sa ato nga mga kuan nga maong nahimong dangerous Filipino. Rizal was unaware that Blanco and the Minister of War and Colonies were exchanging code, telegram, and confidential message for his arrestment upon researching Barcelona, and that he was deported and was being secretly kept under surveillance. So, si Rizal daw, ato nga panahon is wala siya na-aware nga si Blanco nga general ug ang Minister of War and Colonies is kanang nagbaylo og kanang code sa telegram ato nga panahon, which is ang kato siya nga confidential messages is mao to ang ilang gibuhat nga para ma-arrest nila sa Barcelona si Rizal. So mao to si Rizal na kuan siya na-deport siya nga patago kuan niyang under surveillance. Rizal arrested before searching Barcelona. At September 8, Isla de Panay left Singapore at 1 p.m. So si Rizal daw ni hawa siya sa Singapore at 1 p.m. unaware of the Spanish duplicity, particularly Governor General Blanco happily continued the huge towards Barcelona. On September 25, he saw Islas de Luzon leaving the Suez Canal crammed with Spanish troops. So at September 25, nakita niya nga ang Luzon is kanamitang pahawa sa kanal sa Kanyal or crammed with Spanish troops. At September 27, he heard from the passenger that a telegram arrived from Manila reporting execution of Francisco Rojas Conato and Osorio. So, nadungog niya ang uban ni mga passenger nga arrive na sila sa Manila gikan sa Francisco Roxas. Then of September 28, a day after the steamer had left Port Said, a passenger told Rizal that bad news that he would be arrested by order of Governor Rizal Blanco and would not send the person in Cauto, Spanish Morocco opposite Gibraltar. So, sa September 28, a day na nga kanang mo-lift na siya, ang passenger gusto niya si Rizal nga bad news niya siya kay arrestuhon man siya nga gikan kang Governor General Blanco. On September 29, Rizal wrote in his diary, "There are people on board who do nothing but slander me and even fanciful stories about me. I'm going to become a legendary personage." So, si Rizal at that time, gisuwat niya ang diary nga naagi day nga mga tao nga nagboard nga kanibitang wala nagbuhat og maayo but nagslander sa iya og nag-invent fanciful nga nag-invento og mga kanang dili maayo nga mga story about sa iya para mahimo siyang kanang unworthy nga pagkatawo. At September 30 at 4 p.m., he was officially notified by Captain Alemini that he should stay in his cabin until further orders in Manila. So atong September 30 at 4 p.m. kanang officially nagyud nga gi-notified ang niya by Captain Alemani. So naggingan siya nga mag-stay lang siya after sa further announcement or order sa Manila. Arrival in Barcelona as prisoner. About 6 p.m. at September 30, the steamer anchored at Malta. Being confined to his cabin, Rizal was not able to visit the famous island fortress of the Christian Crusaders. On October 3 at 10 p.m., 10 a.m. rather, the Isla de Panay arrived in Barcelona with Rizal on board. The trip from Manila to Barcelona lasted exactly 30 days. So, at September 6, 6 p.m. September is kanang giangkor sa Manila nga ma-confine na sa cabin si Rizal nga dili siya makabisita sa island fortress sa Kirchan. Kay si Rizal nga with Rizal kay nag-trip siya pa Manila pa Barcelona in 30 days jud siya. His jailer was no longer the ship captain but the military commander of Barcelona who happened to be General Eulogio Dispajol. On his second day in Barcelona, Rizal noticed the city's celebration of the feast of Senior Francis of Assisi. So sa second day niya sa Barcelona, si Rizal na notice niya nga na celebration nga nahitabo sa face sa Senior Francis of Assisi. At 3 p.m. On October 6, Rizal was awaked by the guards and assorted to the infamous prison fortress named Montjuic. So, at October 6 at 3 p.m., pagmata ni Rizal is kanang nakita na niya nga na siya mga guard o assorted nga mga infamous prison fortress nga napakanan og Montjuic. About 2 in afternoon, he was taken out a prisoner by guards and brought the headquarters of General Dispahul. Then sa afternoon at 2 p.m., gikuan niya, taking out niya ang person sa mga guard ug niadto siya sa mga headquarter sa General Dispahul. The interview, which lasted a quarter of an hour, the Brodsky General told Rizal that he would be shipped back to Manila on board to transport ship Colon which was leaving that evening. So gi-interview siya nga unsa daw siya last nga oras nga nagkuha nato sa General. So Rizal giistoryahan niya nga nag-ship back to Manila on board siya nga transport ato nga time sa which Colon which has ato nga gabi. After the interview, Rizal was taken board. The Colon was full of soldier and officer and their families. So at last human sa interview ni Rizal, nagadto na din siya sa abroad, which was dagan ang mga soldier, mga officer o iya mga pamilya. At 8 p.m. October 6, the ship left Barcelona with Rizal on abroad. So exactly 8 p.m. at October 6, nilift siya sa Barcelona padulong sa with the Rizal board. So that's all ang kanang story ni Rizal sin iri ang kuan.